Welcome today to our Digital Learning Resources on Destiny webinar. Thank you for making time in your busy schedules to join us. I'm Christy Robinson, a curriculum coordinator with the division, and Lisa Bender also joins me as the division's e-learning catalyst teacher. I'll start off by showing you how you and your students can easily access Chinook's digital learning resources, then move on to highlighting some key resources that may be of interest to you, and finally show you some effective search tips in the Destiny Library catalog, as well as how to create resource lists in the program. Thank you to those of you who were able to indicate what grade levels you were working with. That'll help me kind of choose the resources to highlight. Our goal is to be finished by 4 this afternoon, but if you would like to explore Destiny further, we'll stay online until 4:15-ish so that you can contact us with any questions or ask for assistance through the chat. After today's session, we will send out links to training videos as well as three-question online survey to request feedback about today's information and provide you an opportunity to give us suggestions for and considerations for upcoming webinars. So I'm going to start by showing you how to access the Destiny Library homepage. I'm going to use, you can follow along if you have a library Chromebook that you're not viewing the webinar on if you'd like. I'm going to share my screen, so bear with me as I hopefully don't make you too dizzy as I share this. All right, that wasn't too bad. So the first thing is to go to your school's library, or your school's website, sorry. I'm going to take Herbert School as an example. So you just have to Google search Herbert School. Students, of course, can do the same from home or while they are at school. If their school's homepage comes up as the default page. So once you get to your school along this top bar, you will find learning resources, and that will automatically direct students, staff, and parents to the Destiny Library Search program. We have it organized into audio and ebooks, book reviews and recommendations, book awards to support independent reading. We have databases, periodicals, dictionaries, thesauruses, and atlases. Most of our reference section is now all available digitally. So this is, instead of having too much of a reference section, this is your new reference section. Here we have encyclopedias, online resources that schools can customize to possible subscriptions that they have for their students and teachers to access. We have teacher resources and Chromebook training videos, which we'll go through later. And Herbert has decided to add a student projects link here so that they can feature some of the projects in Adobe Spark videos that maybe they've done with science or social or Adobe Spark page, that scrolling presentation, or pamphlets that they create. So this is something that you could add if you were interested. You just talk to your library staff about that. In the past webinars, we've talked about audio and ebooks. So I won't go into detail. There are videos about each of these topics on the library Chromebooks, but just so you have an idea, you can now access your digital resources, your ebooks on Destiny, and we're hoping very soon, probably within the next couple weeks, for students to be able to have their own logins so that they can actually bookmark, sign out these ebooks, bookmark pages they leave off on, and also highlight and add notes through the book. So please stay tuned for that. I'm going to go back to my Destiny homepage, book reviews and recommendations. So this is where students can, and teachers and library staff can add book colors, video review recommendations to one another. On this page we have at the moment Dojo Daycare and Read a Crayon Story on Herbert's, but you can if you search other school websites, you will see that many of them have lots of student work already added. Book awards, I won't go through, you can explore that on your own. I do want to highlight some of the databases and periodicals. One of the resources that Chinook purchases for the division to access is Culturegrams. And this resource is for K-12. You do require a password to log in at home or at school. It is C-Grams password book. That page is available. I'll show you if we have time later, but this online resource login information sheet is available on the STRC portal page as a document that you can download and you can customize for your school. Many schools already have done that, so you might just need to talk to your library staff about doing so. And then this page can be sent home with students so that they have access from home as well, or posted around the school. Move back to Culturegrams, so I'll log in. World Edition is geared more for middle years and high school students. Kids Edition works with K-12. There really isn't a bunch of difference, but the Kids Edition is a little more visually appealing, but they are quite similar. You'll see from the top that you can look at photos from different countries or regions around the world. What's really nice about Culturegrams is that all the content is updated over a 5-year, 4 or 5 year rotation. So they update 20 to 25% of their content yearly. So you know that you're going to have a relatively recent information that you can access, and anything that changes, you know, let's say when Justin Trudeau became Prime Minister of Canada, that was changed within the week of that happening rather than waiting for the regular rotation. So let's just say I go to Argentina. This would be a sample of what you would see. It's really organized nicely along the side: people and places, history, lifestyle, society, culture, facts, and contacts. This lifestyle section is often something that is a little more difficult for kids to find just online, so it is nice to see what life as a kid is like. They also have a Can You Say It section so that you can learn some common phrases. They do have timelines. Okay, you can actually print anything off as a PDF, view reports. Here, I go to the top. I can explore photo galleries, slideshows. Now, the one thing is when you select Argentina and then I click on slideshows, I'm going to have to go search for Argentina again, which isn't wonderful, but just so that you're aware. There are videos that you can access. Often they're dances or music, interviews with famous people, but also just regular, everyday people. So if I go to Argentina, I see that here is Daniela, she's 27, Juan, who's 30, and you'll find kids as young, you know, as 6 years old, or adults, you know, in their 60s. So it's nice that you have some variety. There's information on famous people. Again, you would select your country. Recipes. So for example, if I go to Argentina, recipes, Argentina, there are some sample recipes. There's usually 2 or 3. Here they have quite a few, so that's even better. Scroll back up to the top, sorry. Flags, and then you can create your own graphs and tables. So you can print an outline of a flag, and then you can actually build your own tables and graphs comparing different countries, which is very, very nice. And now this is a new feature that you can actually link to your Google account. That's something that's very new. Most of this, I go back to a country, and this is quite standard for most of our databases and encyclopedias. You can save it to Google Drive now, possibly adding to your Google Classroom if you have that set up. You have a text-to-speech feature so that students can listen. Okay, here also are distance calculators, currency converters, and there are some teacher resource activities available in there. I'm going to move on to Britannica School. Britannica School is divided into 3 different categories. I'm just going to show you a middle level. If I search planets, and let's say select this solar system, but you'll notice that Britannica School, this is one of my favorites, has articles, images, videos, dictionary, magazines, best websites, some ebooks, and some of them have lesson plans, not all, and then you can also search to see how they correlate with the Saskatchewan curriculum. I'm just going to go to the solar system. So this is a really great resource if you want kids to go to a reliable resource that they can find videos, they can find reliable information, but here they have images and connections to other websites. What I really like about Britannica School is that the article reading level can be adjusted right within the article. Most articles have 2 levels, sometimes they have 3, so you can see that as I click to a level 1, which is essentially their elementary version, is certainly not as detailed. Okay, so then I'll move back up to a level 2. Okay, a little more detail. You can really see the length of each section is quite a bit longer. And then I will move on to 3. So this is your high school. And of course, the vocabulary gets more complicated. You know, here there is, you can see there's the addition of a video to explain, help explain as a text feature. Okay. Sorry if I make anyone dizzy as I'm scrolling too quickly. So again, you can print it, email it. You can cite your source, select your citation style, and then copy. Students can copy and paste this into a document. You can also translate in through Google Translate, so it's not perfect, but there are lots of options here. And then it also has a text-to-speech option. So I'll just...
Introduction. Solar System. Assemblage consisting of the Sun and average star in the Milky Way galaxy and those bodies orbiting around it.
So unfortunately, with this version, it won't play the Google translated version, but it does have text-to-speech, and you can also increase the font size or reduce it. So for students maybe that need a larger text, that might be an option. I'll just show you how the images and videos look and what the related websites and teacher resources might be. So it's kind of a one-stop shop. I'll go on now to World Book Online. Sorry. And again, we have Kids, Student, and Advanced. Also, a Timelines feature. We do have, for French immersion students, a French version, Spanish, and a Science Discover version. So I'm just going to go into this. Maybe I'll go actually into the kids one. You can go in and out of each, but I just wanted to show you what the difference kind of looks like. So again, we have pictures and videos, so just a little more visual, maps, games. There's some science projects where you compare places. I'll put in planets just so you can see what the difference is. It's definitely more visually appealing for our younger students. If I take this planet article, I can see that there are pictures and videos, more information. Here's a big picture. And there are no levels in here. I just happen to be in the kids version, so it is a lower level. You can copy and paste the citations. I go into my tools. I see that I can email, print a citation, translate the text, and then hear the text read aloud. And you can, on this one, adjust the speed.
A planet.
Oops, sorry.
A planet is a large, round object that
slow.
travels around the
slow.
Sun or another star. Earth is one of the 8 planets. A planet is a large, round object that travels around the Sun or another star.
So there are some options there. I'll continue on. InfoTrack, Student Edition, this is more for our high school students. If I search planets, let's do a basic search. Okay, so again, we have academic journals, magazines, books, news, images, etc. You can sign in with Google. One nice thing about this is that you can, in an article, actually highlight. So if I highlight this text, I can click, I want it highlighted, choose my highlight color. This is good if students need to organize their information, and then I can add a note. I just write, here's my note. I can hit save. I can do this because I'm logged in through my Google account. You can see that at the top. And now I have my highlight and notes here. So you could color code your notes. Again, you can translate. There's text-to-speech, citation tools, etc. So great for our high school students. The Kids InfoBits is very similar to that, except it is geared for it's really geared for probably our K-8, K-6 students. The library press display, this is how you can access international papers. You can see the front pages. You can see the sports sections from around the world. You can select your country. But then if you look over on the right-hand side, you can see some local newspapers. So here's the Regina Leader Post, Moose Jaw Times, and even the Southwest Booster. So there are archived newspapers, I believe, up to 2 weeks, and they do have some features that, so you can zoom in. Some of the articles have a translation, some have text-to-speech. It really just depends on the newspaper. I'm going to just highlight teacher resources. This is a listing of the teacher resources that we have, including Common Sense Media, which is a great review site. If you're looking for information about a certain book that your students are reading. So if I type in Thor and I want a book or a movie, if I click on this Girl of Fire and Thorns, what I love is that it gives you an age recommendation, gives you an overview, but then as you hover over each of these headings, they are very specific and will tell you about, what exactly is the violence, what kind of language they use, so that it's very specific. So a great resource. And then if you scroll down, is it any good? What's the story? And what families can talk about. The other couple other things on here that I'll highlight is this Google Arts and Culture. So lots about art, if you're interested, and I think that's what I will focus on there. And then we have our Chromebook training videos. So you can go back to see what all can be accessed. And students can come to this whenever they need as they're doing a project, and so can teachers. All right, so I'm going to move over to the library searching. I'm going to switch out actually to STRC instead of Herbert's homepage. You can stay on yours, but I just wanted to show you what would happen. So if I log into the portal and I go to STRC, here's our portal page. You can see the Chinook Online Resource Login information sheet, and then there's a folder here, Resource Lists in the Destiny Library Program, and there are basically how to make a resource list, why should you, how to do it, how to share. So there are step-by-step instructions provided. How you can request items from STRC. So once you've made a resource list, you can submit that into email to STRC for items to be couriered out to you or to come pick them up. And then how to also access STRC resource lists. I'm going to search STRC resources. And I'll go over to the catalog. I am going to log in. To make a resource list, you need to log in. It is your SRB username and password, so whatever you use to submit an absence or book a sub. I'll show you an example of when I go into catalog. I search environment and I change my material type to kit and hit enter. I get 31 results. Now, if I go into this air and water, I will see that these are our subject headings, and that maybe I want to look at the grade 2 science and air, water, and environment. When I click on this, it takes me to all of the items that STRC has with the subject heading grade 2 science, air, and water in the environment. So this is right out of the curriculum. So I can have them posted here. Okay. Now, if I go back to the catalog, if I want to search some fiction on friendship, and I have to go make sure I go back and change it to my material type. So I'm saying any type. And let's say I want to change my reading program. I actually want to find a resource within a certain level. So if I search from, I want something about friendship between the levels J and M. Okay. Then I do a subject search. And I find that there are 354 items that have a friendship subject heading within the J to M F&P levels. Okay, so if I click refine your search, and I want something with a title of friendship in it within those parameters J to M, I find actually there's only 4. Okay, so, and it will tell you along at the bottom if it is within those parameters. When you are ready to continue searching with something else, okay, it's important to follow this breadcrumb back to the library search. Okay, if not, if you hit back, I'll show you what happens. Here's a keyword search, 363. If I just hit back, I don't know why that happened. Oh, there we go. Confirm form resubmission. So we need to follow the breadcrumb along the top. All right, so this time I'm going to search for a dog, and it's really important that now maybe I don't want to be searching J to M. I either need to click unlimited so that I don't come up with any dog books with reading levels J to M. So I search that, and you'll see that there are almost 1,400 titles with that. But if I follow that breadcrumb back, or I refine my search, if I change this to F&P, and I choose my levels from J to L, let's say, have a very narrow focus, something with dog in the title, I only get 72. If I refine that search again and actually choose subject, I get 229. So it is important for you to think about what type of search you're selecting. I do dog, 270. So keep that in mind. The last thing that I'm going to show you, and I see that it's 4:01. Sorry, I think we can do this in the next few minutes if you're able to stay on. You'll notice once you're logged in, you'll notice along the left-hand side there are resource lists. So if you click on resource lists, it's going to be slow. I'm not sure. There we go. All right, so I have a lot of resource lists, and you'll notice that these are in my lists. There are also public lists that STRC makes available to all staff. My list is just what you have, and you probably will notice one. I'm sorry, I'm going to scroll through quick to an M. Sorry, you might want to close your eyes as I do this. Okay, sorry, I'm stumbling. I accidentally touched the wrong list, and now I'm trying to get back. I'm just going to go back in here. Catalog, resource lists. Thanks for your patience as this takes its time. All right, there will be, I won't do this again so that we don't waste our time. Along the top, yours probably says my personal list. Please don't ever delete that, okay? So just keep that in mind. You can always add a list by clicking Add List, put a name, I'll just put testing. You don't have to worry about making this list public locally. And across the district, we reserve that for STRC only. You can put a description. It's about planes. And I can click Save. Now, if I want to share this with my library staff, so let's say that I put in Darcy Richards, that means Darcy and I can actually collaborate and add things to this list together. I can have someone that I'm possibly teaching with, your library staff. So we are going to share ownership of this so that we can, any one of us can add or delete items. So that's one way that's really handy if you have, you're doing a certain unit and you would like your library staff to pull those resources for you. You can just share that list with them and then send them a quick email saying, can you pull the items in my plans unit? And they can go in and do so. So I'll hit Save. So I've created my list. There's a nice How Do I, so if you need help, you can always click on here. And it's taking its time. So I've added my list. It will go appear in my list, not the public list. I'll go back to the catalog. Let's say, well, I was searching planes, so I'm doing a subject search. I want to change this because I don't want it to be limited to J to L F&P levels. I want any type. Oops, sorry, subject. All right, now you'll notice that in the selected list, there's testing, which is the one I was just at, but then you'll see all my other resource lists. So I wanted to go into testing, but I could put this in my Social Studies 30 course or in my survival nonfiction, whatever it fits. So I'm putting this in my testing, and all I do is click Add to the list. Find another item, add to the list. So this comes up when you just do a search. You select the list that you want it to go into, click Add to Lists. If I go over to Resource Lists, I should have picked something AAA so I don't have to go all the way down to T, but it will just pop up. Okay, try get through this quickly. Here's my testing. If I want to view it, I click View. Here are my items. I can remove from this point, or I can email this list. So if I wanted to email this list to STRC, I would click Go. I would change the email to STRC. And in my message, I would say, could you please courier these items out to Herbert School? Or can I please pick these up Wednesday afternoon? Click Send, and RC will receive that at STRC and make arrangements with you. And that's basically it. If you have any questions about how to make resource lists, you can use that STRC portal page, and in the documents section, there is resource lists and Destiny Library program. If you want help with showing your students how to use any of those online resources, please feel free to contact me. And I think that's about it. So thanks everyone for joining us. We will stay on until 4:15 if you like, or for even longer if you'd like. I could stay a little later today. If you'd like assistance, just ask a question in the chat. If you choose to try this out another day, we will upload the links into the Chromebook training videos section. I will also email out the archive of this webinar. Our next webinar is Wednesday, March 8th, when we'll be going more into depth into the online encyclopedias and databases, as well as show you how you can use the Google Keep app to make resources. So have a good night, everyone. Thanks for joining us.